out with fire and with a lot of grit, and during the tournament, that's all you can do, and I just thought we came out as a unit, and I'm really proud of these girls.
Kenna, you came out just on fire. What did that feel like to be able to make such an impact when you're just checking in as a sub?
Yeah, no, I made it my goal tonight to do that. I know that I had to go out there and do my job, and a big part of that was playing good defense, putting up a good block, and also being strong offensively. And so I made that my goal, and I think, when I can do that, it helps the team out a lot.
Taylor, you had a couple of aces on the serve. How much better does that place you guys in a better position when you guys can serve and get serve aces, and just how does that elevate you guys?
It's so great. It's almost like free points. Like, we went on so many service runs, like with all of our short serves, and like we've been really working on all of our serves in practice. So it's good to see it like pay off.
Taylor, Dave mentioned the defense and the passing tonight. As a team in the second round of the NCAA tournament, you hit over 400, which is incredible. Was this maybe the best defensive performance of the year, or one of the best as far as passing?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I just think like with like our passers and our defense, it makes it so much easier to do my job and have all the options available. So maybe it stands out, but I guess it's a good thing if I can't remember if it stands out, because that means they're always doing a good job.
And Kenna, I'm guessing throughout club and high school, you were a focal point every time you stepped on the court. Now with Eva, with Chloe, that's not the case. How much did that open shots for you?
It helps so much. We talk about it, especially like in rotation 1, for example, when Eva's in there running a 2. Michael's always talking about how it's going to be open on the 4 ball, and they're always focused. They're always going to be releasing towards our outside, so it definitely helps and opens me up quite a bit.
And Eva, you said last night you like pressure, you love pressure. I don't think you want to be down 5-0 in the second set, but it seemed like the team really, when Taylor went to the service line there, kind of thrived in that moment. What is it about kind of just maybe backs against the wall, you were able to dig out of those situations?
Well, I just think as the season goes on and as this tournament goes on, we just continue to build confidence and continuously show that we can come back from those situations. So we knew that we got this, and that if we all did our jobs, we'd come back, and we did.
Coach, and I guess any of you players as well, what's it like with such a short turnaround between games? I know you guys have had long tournament weekends before, but in such a high-quality tournament like the NCAA tournament, what's that like?
It's definitely a test. I know my body's wearing down, but everybody's is, and that's just part of the tournament. And I'm just glad that we came out as we did.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, thank you. Thank you. We'll take a few more questions for Coach Shondell.
Dave, I kind of asked Kenna this, but obviously she's a tremendous talent that probably gets, when they look at the depth on your roster, gets hidden behind some other hitters. The way she came out tonight, I think, is that kind of what you expect that she's capable of doing every single night? It's just, she doesn't have to be that force every single night.
Talking about Kenna?
Yes.
Yeah. Kenna's one of the very best athletes on this team. She's fast, she jumps well, she's got an electric arm. But when you're not in the lineup all the time, it's harder than if you're going to be involved every time you step on the floor. And it's just a process that she's going through, and it's great to see her respond the way that she did in this tournament. She was really good last night. She was really good tonight. She's a great blocker, which is one of the biggest reasons we played her in that spot tonight. Is that she's got great tempo, great timing. She's physical. She believes in herself, and then she's also capable of scoring. Like she mentioned, she's always normally going to be one-on-one in that position, and she gets on the ball so quick that if she picks the right shot, she's got a good chance to score. But just a phenomenal human being. Just so happy we have her.
What did get into the passing tonight? There were plays that a lot of people give up on that your team didn't, and kept plays alive, and they turned into points.
Well, you got the passing, which is when you're receiving the serve, and then you got defense when you're fielding hard hit balls by the attackers. And I thought we were excellent in both areas. There were some spectacular plays made by both teams, but certainly the play where I'm not even sure how we got it back over the net. Horning either kicked it or fisted it. I couldn't tell what happened, but there were some great plays. But we've worked so hard on our serve receive game this season, and when we lost 3 out of 4 matches in succession to Kansas, Creighton, and then Penn State, we knew we had some problems. And it was great that we were hit in the face with it at that point in time, because it allowed us then to get the attention of our players, because they're great competitors and they don't like getting beat. So we were able to convince them if we can turn this into a positive and take our passing, which our good pass percentage was in the low 40s to where now it's in the low 50s. That's a huge jump over the course of time for our team, and tonight we were at a 65% good pass percentage. So it was a combination, I thought, of the serving, taking them out of their game. That's all part of defense, and you can serve, deep or short, and the short serve really disrupted what they wanted to do. And then your block gets into the game the way that they did, 13 blocks in 3 sets, okay? And then I just thought, defensively we were great. But the number that jumps out to me, Sam, is that in 2 nights, Eva Hudson had 42 kills in 6 sets. My math tells me that's 7 a set in the national championship NCAA tournament. That's pretty good. And she had 3 errors, 42 kills in 3 errors. That's just an incredible performance.
You could get 2 pretty contested sets, and then I think Ryan goes to the service line in the 3rd set, and you just go on a run and you kind of stepped on their throat. Does that kind of feel like you don't want to give them any hope that they're still in this match to put away a team in the 3rd set?
That's always the hope. Yeah, you always want to do it that way. But they're such a tough team, as they showed throughout the season. They had won 39 out of 41 sets coming into this match. They'd won 39 out of 41 sets. Yeah, they're not playing the Big Ten, but they swept Dayton, okay, who won last night in the NCAA tournament. And then last night they swept BYU, who's a 5 seed in this tournament. So there was nothing about it that was going to be easy. But I did tell them, if we don't block balls tonight, we will get beat. And so they responded by going out and blocking some balls. And really, we just played well in every aspect of it. And great to have Taylor Andersen in here, because sometimes the setter gets undervalued a little bit, but she was putting the ball on a platter for our hitters tonight.
Go back to that last set. I mean, was it good, or did it give you guys anything to be able to finally have that dominant set? You guys have had so many contested ones. What did that do for you?
I think the contested sets prepare you better than sets like that, to be honest with you. I mean, and we've been through, as you know, we've been through a bunch of them. And I think that just makes you tougher, prepares you for moments like this. And then when you get one, you feel very relieved and very fortunate that you have one go the way that it did. But I think they ran out of gas a little bit emotionally, and they had not seen I haven't watched them receive a short serve all season. I watched like the last 6 matches, and nobody had served them a short ball. And I thought we could probably take them out of some of the things they wanted to do and eliminate one of their hitters, so we could then focus our block on the other 1 or 2. And it just worked out that's with the good serving that it helped out.
They had 2 players, and I'm not going to try and say their names, but it was the middle blocker and the right hitter. I mean, they looked like maybe some Big Ten players, and they were really trying to go to her. Was it just a matter of your best was better than their best, or how did you guys kind of contain?
Well, I think a little bit was, I think we have more proven commodities. We're a Big Ten conference school, and you're going to recruit. You're likely to recruit better volleyball athletes in the Big Ten than you might in the Atlantic 10. That's just the facts of life. Doesn't matter if it's volleyball, basketball, football. That's just the way that it is, and it's going to get worse. Okay, by the way, and I think that we could narrow our focus on a couple of their better players. We wanted to make sure 13 didn't beat us. That was one of the things I had on the board. Let's not let 13 beat us. And I didn't think she would, but you got to send a message sometimes. And players needed to know that we weren't going to let her beat us. And she was still fine. I'm not 6 for 13 with 3 errors, 211. The left-hander hurt us quite a bit. The senior on the right side was hitting that cross-court shot, but we were giving a little bit of that up to make sure we weren't getting hurt in some other areas. And we felt like that was the plan. And sometimes the plan works and sometimes it doesn't.
A couple more for Dave, please.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna now maybe face some more hostile environments, whereas this was obviously the opposite of that.
Right.
You've had some good road performances. How do you replicate that in just the scaled up tournament?
Yeah, things you can't control, you can't really worry about, all right? And we can't control where we're going from here. Most likely, it will be Louisville. I assume that they'll win their sub-regional, and they have the right to host. And the good news for me is that that's less than 3 hours away from West Lafayette. And I think we're building a really good fan base. I was in Louisville a few years ago when Matt Painter took his basketball team down there, and it was all black and gold for the most part down there. So I know our fans know how to get there. It's just will they prioritize this for our team? And this is a women's sports team that has proven to our community that they're special. And I think our fans are jumping on board, but this would be a great opportunity for them to do that right around the holiday time and go down and support this bunch. It would be much appreciated.
Coach, what was behind the decision to start Kenna Wollard over Lizzie Carr tonight?
Well, we've been bouncing back and forth. That's a good question because it's a hard decision because they're both playing really, really well. The one thing that Kenna normally provides is this defensive ability. She's a little more mobile, a little quicker, and some of the off-speed, junkie type plays that sometimes a 6'6" player may not be able to, field. Kenna does a pretty good job with that. And, Kenna played that position most of the season. And then she kind of went into a little bit of a tough period where she wasn't getting as much done. And then Lizzie Carr came in and was really, really good. And she gets the opponent's attention because she's so big. And, she was blocking well and on certain nights was hitting the ball really well too. But I just felt like in this matchup with this team, they weren't huge. This wasn't a huge Loyola team. I thought that it would be a good matchup to have Kenna to give us what she gives us. If we go play, Louisville or Stanford or somebody else, it could be just the opposite.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Congratulations,
Thanks.
Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
One more note about Eva. It was a career high in hitting percentage tonight for her. Her previous was 500, which was set at Michigan State last year in one of the final match of the season, of regular season, I believe it was.
You said 500?
Yes.
Do you know how many